Well, hello, Green Team. So nice to be with you. It's April, which is Earth Month, and we have so many fun things that are planned. And today I am going to be talking with Kastle Waserman, and she is a freelance journalist. She's been doing an article for Westword on things to do in Denver to celebrate Earth Day. So, hi, Kastle.
Hi there. Nice to be with you, Jen. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, this has been a fun collaboration. Yeah, so we're just going to be chatting about some of the things that you can do either online or in person, volunteering and all kinds of different things, events that you can go to safely during the pandemic, because we know that it's still a little tricky, and so we want to make it as easy as possible. And even if you're not from the Denver area, I think that you're going to enjoy this because we do have lots of events that are online, but also I think it will give you some ideas of things that you can do in your community. So before I start that, I just want to mention that the Earth Week Summit it's from April 17th to the 24th. It's a free event. The registration is at earthweeksummit.com. We have over 60 partners now, including Denver Public Schools Sustainability and Natural Grocers and just all kinds of fun people, small businesses, small nonprofits, folks that are doing cool things around sustainability. And we'll talk a bit more about some of those events, but I just wanted to remind you, definitely sign up for that. Let folks know. It's a great way to get people excited to make a difference. All right. So with that, Castle, before we start, I just want to ask you a little bit about how did you so you're doing freelance writing, you focus a lot on environment as well as some other topics, but how did you get into this area where you're passionate about this?
Yeah, well, I became interested in sustainability and things that I could do to lower my carbon footprint probably about 10 years ago, maybe more. I think it was around the time Al Gore's An Inconvenient Truth movie came out. And I became very concerned about polar bears facing extinction. That was kind of my stepping off point. Because I love polar bears, I love animals, and that kind of led me into learning more about climate change and just really looking at my own lifestyle and how I was contributing to climate change and things that I could do to kind of scale that back, whether it was the products I was buying, the fashion I was wearing, just even just little things, gadgets in the kitchen, like replacing plastic bags with reusable bags and things like that. So about that time I was working for Yahoo, and they had a green team for their corporate sustainability efforts to be a corporate leader in that area. And I joined that green team and learned so much, just from the corporate aspect as well as a personal aspect. And I eventually became leader of that team because the leader had left the company, and started leading some initiatives around bringing your own coffee cup to work rather than using disposables, different things like that, that you could do in your personal life, do at work. And led that green team, started writing for Yahoo Green. I've always been a journalist, writing about lifestyle and entertainment topics. So, going into the environmental topics just was kind of a natural progression. Started writing for Yahoo Green and just have continued looking at sustainability, especially from a lifestyle aspect, and looking at green businesses, green fashion, and just really wanting to write about those topics and share that information with more people.
That's so cool. What a neat story. Yeah, and I think that's the thing, is that when you start doing it on your own, you can have a smaller impact. But like you said, as your team, which is why I have Green Team Academy,
Yeah.
that whole thing, start a team. So if you go beyond just your personal idea and make it into a team thing, you can have such a bigger impact like that, like you guys did. for your whole company. And your cat is so cute.
Can you hear him?
We just saw like his ears, like just the top of his head. So maybe he'll make more of an appearance.
He's a little hyper this morning.
It's so cute. All right. So Kastle, what are some of the events that you found? I know that as we were preparing for this, everybody, we found so many different events, and some of them haven't been pinned down just yet. So if you sign up for the Earth Week Summit, I'll be updating you with those details as we get them. But also you can go to earthweeksummit.com and click on the schedule. There's one that's for online events and another one for Denver in-person events. So we're trying to get all this in one place for you. But let's just chat. Kastle, what are some of the fun events that you found that you think that people would be interested in?
Yeah, well, I put together an article for Westword, which is the local alternative weekly here in Denver. And really, when I started working on the article, there wasn't much going on. I thought, oh, wow, it's going to be kind of quiet this year. But as I started working on it, more events started rolling in, more details started rolling in of some of the events that were planned. And I had so much. I was like, wow, this is going to be great. So it's a great year because, we're just coming out of the pandemic. People are eager to get out. Last year's Earth Day really got squashed a bit by the onset of the pandemic, and people were really panicking about what was happening with the virus. And so I think Earth Day kind of got a little bit pushed aside, which is unfortunate because it was the 50th anniversary. So I'm hoping this year we can make up for it a little bit. I think we took a few steps backwards with the pandemic and our environmental efforts, and that we really wanted disposable everything and nobody wanted to touch anything, and the grocery stores wouldn't let you use your own reusable bags anymore. So hopefully we can kind of get back on track with some of the events. And there's some great ones this year. They're both in person. There's a few that are in person, being socially distanced and wearing face masks and being really mindful of that. And there are a lot of virtual events so people can participate no matter where you are. And just a few of the ones I plucked out of the listings that I put together in my notes here. There was one by a store called The Conscious Merchant, which is a store that sells eco-friendly products, and they do events in the store. And they have a goal-setting workshop with a motivational speaker here in Denver named Jackie Carr. And I've actually gone to one of her workshops before. She's fantastic. She will really get you motivated, give you some steps to take action. Like I said, in your own lifestyle, those baby steps make such a difference. And, set those goals, write them down of what you want to do to make a difference. So that one looks really good. There's a team in Golden, which I believe Joan was started with the Green Team Academy, called Team Great Golden. And they have a whole series of virtual events going on, talking with different leaders in sustainability, including the mayor of Golden. And so that looks really good. And then at the end of the week on Earth Day itself, they're going to do a cleanup around the Golden area. And so again, it'll be socially distanced and, really careful in terms of the virus and all that, because not everybody's vaccinated yet. But, kind of cleaning up around the area, which is something that's really easy to do just in your own neighborhood. And another one I wanted to mention was Artman Productions is having an event out on a farm. And again, where people can spread out, and they're having different things going on with food and a yoga meditation session and a fashion show. Like I mentioned, I'm really into fashion. I'm into vintage fashion and thrift store fashion, which is all very eco-friendly because you're reusing those styles and putting them together in new ways. And so they're having a fashion show by a new brand named Odin, which is a very sustainable brand that they want to showcase, as well as some secondhand clothing that they're going to show, again, repurposed in some new styles. So I thought that was really interesting.
Wow, that is great. And I see Sheila saying, thank you. Yeah, it was really cool because, Sheila DeForest came in as an ambassador to help spread the word about the challenge. And then she's like, oh, what the heck? Why don't I start something? And that's how she started that Team Great Golden. And so it's so exciting to see that they've got their their whole Earth Week thing going. So it's pretty neat seeing people just stepping up. So I wanted to add, so some of those events that you found, Kastle, I'll add those. We'll coordinate later, and I'll make sure that I get those onto our list as well.
Yeah, there'll be an article coming out in Westword in the coming week that'll have 10 events on there. So
okay,
you and I can share those events together so everybody knows how to get tickets and tune in and attend.
Perfect. I love that about going to a farm as well. I know that I spoke with a couple farmers and asked, how's the best way to do it? And that's one of the things on our list is find your nearest farm and ask if you can go volunteer with them, because some of these events where they try to organize a bunch of people, it's hard during the pandemic. But if you want to go with a few friends or with your family, or a small group, and you coordinate it, then generally they're more than happy to have the extra hands to get in there and do something. I've been volunteering on a couple farms lately, and I just love it. It's been
great.
Such a fun thing to do. Another group that you could volunteer with that's kind of an ongoing thing is Denver Public Schools Gardens. I did a podcast a couple weeks ago with Chris Woodburn about the Garden of Youth, where they're working with kids who have limited career opportunities and helping them get those soft skills and get some experience in the garden. But they also have, I can't remember, I think it's like 120 gardens across the district. Wow. And so if you just wanted to volunteer locally, you can contact DPS Gardens Coordinator and tell them, hey, I'm one person or I'm a couple folks and we want to volunteer. So that's kind of a fun way to do it as well. Another one that I wanted to mention, and maybe I'll share my screen so we can look at a few of these. Okay, so one that I thought was kind of cool is an event that's organized by Ozone. And this is one of the few in-person events that's like being carefully figured out. It's 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., but there's 3 different seatings that are happening in there. And so this is at Ozone, and they're a local kind of environmentally friendly event venue. And so they have 3 different sessions starting at 11 o'clock, where they have yoga and brunch. And then their next one is arts and plant education. And then their last one is live music and dinner. And, they have a limited number of spots for that. I'm one of the speakers, I think a couple times in there, which is going to be fun. Brigitte Mars is there, Beverly Grant from Mo Better Green Marketplace. So that's kind of a fun one. That's 21 years and up. So a lot of the things that we've been talking about is for everyone. This is a little different. This is for the moms and dads out there. I also wanted to mention, let me see here if I don't know how to get my my little cursor. There we go. Yeah. So this is the list that we have on our website over here at Earth Week Summit. This is all the in-person events. So you definitely want to check this out. For example, I'm taking the permaculture design course this year and really excited about doing that. That's starting April 10th. They have another one that's starting in July. So if you've been wanting to learn permaculture, that might be a fun thing to get going. The Youth Sustainability Board has partnered with Tree Plenish. So I think there's 10 schools in Colorado that are doing tree planting events, either April 17th or 24th. Their goal is to offset the paper use of the school by planting that many trees this year. And so they're each trying to plant a couple hundred trees and could really use some volunteers. So that would be a fun one to do. And a lot of those trees they're planting at people's homes. So it's smaller groups doing that. So I think that would be fun. The Festival de los Niños, the Children's Day, that is by Amigos de Mexico and also Energy Bikes and some others. This is another in-person event that's pretty fun. They have a drive-through part of it where they have books and food and different things. And then they also have some outdoor activities, like the Energy Bikes is where you can ride your bike to power the sound system. And so those are some fun things that is an in-person thing that you can do. Sanderson Gulch cleanup. So Greenway Leadership, or the Greenway Foundation, has a leadership corps where they work with youth that want to do environmental projects. And so they're doing a cleanup. But I mean, that's a really neat group to know about if you have kids or, that might be interested in getting out there and doing projects. The Greenway Foundation would be a fun one to coordinate with. And then there is something called City Nature Challenge. This is around the world. There is a Denver Boulder one, as well as pretty much anywhere in the world. And this is another great one for social distancing because people use the iNaturalist app. And with the iNaturalist app, you download it, and then over the course of 4 days, you just take pictures of anything that you find of plants or animals. So it's this bio blitz that gets done. And then later, the next part of it is understanding what was tagged, and there's naturalists that help you identify it. And so that's kind of a cool thing to do. In the past, it's been like a competition between cities. Now, because of the pandemic, it's more of a collaboration. But that's a neat one to do. And one more I want to mention that's an in-person event is on May 1st. This is for Denver residents only, but Denver Recycles is hosting a mulch giveaway and a compost sale. And they're at, I think, 4 different locations for the mulch, and then the compost is on sale at several different Ace Hardware locations. So that's a neat one as well. And then we added some others. Those other ones that I told you about were our partners. But there's some neat ones, like if you've ever been to the Wild Animal Sanctuary. Wild Animal Sanctuary is in Keensburg. This is a little out of the Metro Denver area. But their motto is letting animals be wild again. So they have 500 animals, that, like lions and tigers and animals that have somehow been captured that didn't have a wild place to live. So they have this huge area for them. And if you bring a tree on Earth Day, then you can get in for free. So that's a few of the ideas that we have going that are in person. And then our online events, we just have a ton, including, I'm so excited about our Earth Day events. We have Mike Nelson, who is our Denver 7 channel, our chief meteorologist, and Peter Tans, a senior climate scientist with NOAA, that are going to be talking about their new book, which is World's Littlest Climate Change Book. And then Shayna Oliver, who is a local person, an Indigenous mom that works on air pollution. There was just a big article in Colorado Sun about the air pollution and how some of the state officials, there's a big whistleblower thing, how the state officials were not taking the correct actions. So air pollution is a big deal. That's what Shayna will be talking about, how she's been getting involved, what you can do. And then Sarita Parikh is talking about natural beauty products and how her family had problems with different products, how it was hindering their health. And so how she started this company with her niece and nephew. So that's just like a little tease into all the good stuff that we have going on. Let me see here if I can.
Yeah, the Green Team Academy, you guys are really doing a lot. It's really impressive.
Yeah, we're so excited. We're just like so excited for this year's event. With the Earth Week Summit, we'll also be featuring people that started their projects, like Sheila. So telling that story of what happened during those 90 days in last year's Climate Action Challenge, and then how to get involved for this year's which starts August 18th. Yeah. So, and the fact that we have 60 partners this year that are out spreading the word, like Natural Grocers has a seminar that they're doing, an online one called Ladybug Love, which I just love this because they go into what all ladybugs do and what pesticides do to ladybugs, and how eating organic produce is one way that you can protect ladybugs. It's just like such a neat way to make it personal. I think everybody's got their own perspective. Yeah.
Yeah, and what's so easy about going green? I've been a green team leader at a couple of corporations now, and people always think, oh, you're the green police, you must do everything perfect. And I don't. And if you just take a few steps, just change out one thing in your lifestyle, that's making a difference. So you don't have to be perfect about it. It's not a contest. Just look at some of the things you do in your life and see what you can swap out. It's pretty simple. I've just kind of been progressively doing things, whether it's packaging, and everybody's been ordering from Amazon with the pandemic and staying home so much, maybe try to put all your orders in one big order rather than ordering one thing, every day. So you can kind of reduce that packaging and delivery and carbon emissions, or, try to shop locally, see if they deliver, do curbside pickup. Hopefully we can start going out again more. We can shop locally again. And that really helps those small businesses that need your patronage. And, just take those baby steps. That if everybody took baby steps, it makes a big impact.
Yes, I agree. And I think the thing is that when you work together, that it can be creative, it can be fun. And, when you're working on your own, it can be depressing and overwhelming. Yeah. And so having a way to do this together, you make a much bigger impact, and it's more fun. So that's my tagline, is get together, make a difference, and feel better. Because that's all of that is super important. I'm gonna share the screen one more time here, and I wanted to show you. So hopefully, can you see you can see the partners now, hopefully. So we have so many partners that have joined us, and we don't have all of their events up yet, but I know that Serendipity Catering is doing something. I know that Front Range Wild Ones, the Front Range chapter has plant swaps. They have a session on rainwater harvesting. We've got our Youth Proyecto Philippines. They have a big thing that they're doing. So we're pretty excited about all these different folks that we have that are partners, and a lot of them have events coming up. Many of them are virtual. And some of them still are in the Denver area, but everything from, I know Climate Music is going to be doing something. There's more courses with Denver Permaculture Guild, including an Indigenous Wisdom course with Michael Alcazar. Just so many amazing things that are happening here. So if there's something, Hugelrado Farms is doing a soil health course that is with the Alliance Center. The Alliance Center that I forgot to mention earlier, they are doing a whole week-long series of events. So they have a bunch of Colorado-focused events. And let's see, who else am I missing here? The Sargassum Podcast. This was Franziska Elmer, and they started their team during our last challenge, and they've been out there doing their podcast. So if you're wondering what the heck is sargassum, if you've ever been on a beach where there's suddenly a bunch of algae, they're diving deep into that to tell people how that is all going. Sustainable Broomfield has an event for Broomfield. Let's see who else has. USGBC Mountain has a commercial real estate seminar coming up. And let's see, and Youth Power Climate Action Network, they've got something going on. They're getting youth teams together in the Bay Area of like climate action teams, getting the youth all together to talk about how can adults support them and what do they want to do. So that's kind of a neat one. And then YSB is doing those tree planting events. They also have a month-long scavenger hunt and a speed networking event. So yeah, so many fun things that we're able to spread the word about, and really demonstrating. I think a lot of people used to think that that Earth Day was kind of a competition, but it's really a collaboration, and that's exactly what we're doing. I didn't even mention some of the Earth. We're also partnering with earthday.org, and they have fantastic events on April 20th and 21st, all day long. And so we'll have those on our schedule as well. Youth events, faith leaders, all kinds of folks coming out, talking about what it is they're doing. And I think that's the vibe that we want to say. And what some of our speakers are taking this tack of, it's a crisis, but it's also an opportunity. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of the message that we want to share, is that this is an opportunity to be creative and support your local businesses, your local nonprofits, get out there with some people and make something happen. You can organize a cleanup. I did an interview with Jake Rubenstein about the Great Global Cleanup. They have a lot of resources. They can help you. So don't stop, don't cancel, just figure something out and do something with your friends. And how about you, Kastle? Is there anything else that you wanted to add? So when will people be able to find the Westword article, and where, and all those details too?
Yeah, the article should be coming out this coming week, and it'll have about 10 events in the local Denver area, both online and in-person events. So whatever you're comfortable with doing this year. And again, it's just an opportunity to get together with some people, either virtually or in person, socially distanced, and just, collaborate, talk about ideas, get inspired, see what you can do, whether it's a baby step you do at home, or, starting your own green team, working with Joan and the fabulous work that she's doing and helping people get initiatives off the ground. So, it's just, Earth Day, as they say, shouldn't just be one day. It's a week of events, and then it continues on to inspire you throughout the year to think about ways that you can make a difference, look at your own carbon footprint, and think about climate change, learn about climate change, and see what you can do, in your own home and in your community. So I think it's a great way to have that launching pad to, do bigger and better things.
Yes, I agree. Yes, well said. I forgot to also mention that as part of the Earth Week Summit, when you sign up for that, you'll also get access to our Earth Month pop-up group. So we wanted to make it kind of fun, like you're hanging out with your friends, and we have people that join us from all over the world. And so that's been a really fun part of this, is we have people from Zambia and Colombia and, all over the place. And, we're working with climate reality chapters, like the Newark, Delaware chapter has some events that are part of our thing. So people from all different perspectives and ideas are coming together. And so you can hang out and make some new eco buddies in our pop-up group. All right. Okay. Well, thanks so much, Kastle. This has been fun. Thanks, Sheila, out there for the work that you're doing. And we're excited to be sharing all of this with you. And Kastle, how can people reach you? Is the best way to if they're looking for somebody to help maybe do some writing for their events, how can folks reach out to you?
Yeah, well, you can find me on Westword, on the website, westword.com. And I also have my own website, kastlewriter.com. Again, it's Kastle with a K, Kastle, writer, WRITER.com. And you can reach out to me through email there. And I'd love to hear about I love to hear about lifestyle brands, small businesses, fashion brands that are sourcing sustainably, any events that are popping up. So yeah, feel free to reach out. Let me know what you're working on. I'd love to hear about it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, that's how this came about, right? That we bumped into each other at the Colorado Environmental Film Festival in one of those rooms and started talking and I heard that Kastle was a writer, and we talked about the idea of how about doing something to focus on Earth Day Denver, and she took off, and we'll be able to use her research to improve and get that info out to those of you who register. So yeah, it's all teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work.
That's right.
All right. Well, happy Earth Month, everybody. And serendipity. Right. I know. And Sheila was in that same room too, in the Colorado Environmental Film Fest, which is kind of how she found out about us, about the Green Team Academy. So yeah, it's all just a beautiful, virtuous cycle here. And I see Lee said hi, Lee Recca with Denver Permaculture Guild. Yeah, they're doing all kinds of cool things. So there's no absence of people that are out there, whether you want to plant pollinators or, plant for pollinators or grow your own food or reduce your waste. There's folks out there that are really excited to help you. And we're happy to be connecting everybody. Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot, Kastle. Have a great day and goodbye, everybody. See you soon. Okay. Bye.
Happy birthday.